Hey, welcome to the first episode of the Flattest State of Comics. We are proud to be part of the Fandom Podcast Network. Scan that QR code right there, and it'll take you to the Fandom Podcast Network's social media and all the other content. So all the different podcasts that are part of the Fandom Podcast Network, scan that QR code. It'll take you to that. You'll be able to find everything that's on that network. We're part of the network. We're proud to be part of the network, and we're proud to be here for episode 1. I am Steve.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Austin.
Hey guys, I go by Comic Ronin on Instagram, and we're going to go around the room here. Right now it's the three of us. We may get a third person popping in late, but right now it's just the three of us, me, Spencer, and Austin. And we'll start with Spencer. Spencer, where in Florida are you? Are you from Florida? Are you from somewhere else? How did you get into comics? Welcome aboard.
Alrighty. So yeah, my name is Spencer, or the Stoke Nerd. I am currently living in St. Petersburg, Florida. However, I am not a native Floridian. I'm originally from Madison, Wisconsin. I grew up there. And I've been into comics for a pretty long time at this point. What really got me into comics was the MCU, as I know a lot of people my generation really did. I'm 24 years old, so I really grew up with those movies. And the first time I actually went to a comic shop was the free comic book day, the weekend that the first Avengers came out. So we went and saw the first Avengers movie, and then I went to our local comic book store, Westfield Comics in Madison, Wisconsin. So yeah, I picked up Ultimate Hawkeye. That was what I was into at that point, because Hawkeye was so sick in that first Avengers movie. So as a little 10-year-old boy, I just loved Hawkeye, and that's what really got me into comics. And then I would kind of like just go every free comic book day, because I wasn't really like super into it at that point. And then around like 2017, 2018 is when when the MCU was really getting into high gear, like Infinity War times. That's when I really got into comics like heavily. And ever since then, I've pretty much been going weekly. I took a few years off in between, but I pretty much go every single Wednesday for the past almost 10 years.
What's your LCS, Spencer?
Oh, here in Florida, I go to Emerald City Comics.
Oh, good store. Yeah. Big store. If anybody's never been or heard of it, it's a big store.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Good people. Austin, how about you?
So my name's Austin. I go by the Retro Corner on Instagram. There's a underscore somewhere in there. I don't remember, but it's the Retro Corner. I'm in Parrish, Florida, so it's just north of Bradenton, south of Tampa. And I've been into comics maybe on and off for about 10 years, probably. Similar situation like with the MCU. MCU started popping off, and people always tell me, like, they're saying, like, this came from the comics. This came from the comics. The comics did it first and whatever. So I was interested in reading those stories and seeing how similar they were to the MCU or not similar. But after that, I got into comics purely for the art on the comics. So I was a big CGC guy. I was a big slab guy. And so I was buying keys because I thought, how cool is it? Instead of this is saying like, oh, Avengers 1 is great. And I was like, yeah, well, what's cooler than that? Avengers #1, the first appearance, this is where it came from, stuff like that. Yeah. So I did that for a while. And then I kind of went on a CGC hiatus. I ditched all my CGC slabs and purely was just reading comics, whether it was like old comics, key comics, or like new stuff. And so I've been really into the new stuff with Absolute Batman, and I've been loving it. So
how do you get your books every week, Austin?
So I go to a local spot. It's called Bat City Comics. It's in Bradenton.
We never run into each other, but
I know it's so weird. Yeah, they're an awesome store. Really, really great owners. So
yeah, we've got the dark side here in Sarasota, and I do go there, but I get my pull list every Wednesday at Bat City Comics in Bradenton, Florida. I live here in Sarasota. I'm originally a Michigan guy, born in Detroit. Yes, I'm an old white dude that goes by the name Comic Ronin. So there's a, cultural appropriation, you say. But hey, I love all things Japanese. I've been to Japan twice. I hope to spend my final days there cleaning toilets or something like that so I can live there. But it's more about the Ronin, which is a masterless samurai. So I always kind of treat my collecting like I have no master until I started joking that Scott Snyder's my master.
He's everyone's master.
Yeah, right.
I love everything that Scott Snyder does, and he can do no wrong. And I love the absolute Batman stuff, especially. But I've been collecting off and on my whole life. I mean, I was buying Archie and Richie Rich off of a spinner rack in a pharmacy, and as a kid, and then Spider-Man and the Avengers and Fantastic Four and occasionally Batman. I didn't get a lot of DC, and it seems like that's exclusively what I get nowadays. But in and out of the hobby, moved a lot. You sell your stuff, you get rid of your stuff, but I always come back to it. I like reading it, and now it's my primary hobby. And I have the books that I really wanted to keep behind me, First Blade, things like that, encapsulated. And I'm not loyal necessarily to CGC, even though they're right here in Sarasota, Florida. I've got some PSA stuff, and I just want to have some of it protected. And I'm an older dude, so if I check out, I want it to be easy for my fiance to, sell it and go on vacation with her new husband.
I feel that. No, I
yeah. I'll leave you guys each couple something cool.
Yeah, cool.
Kyle,
Hey,
Kyle's our engineer running things behind the scenes for us. Big shout out to Kyle of the Fandom Podcast Network. He's running the show, and he's going to be bringing up our graphics tonight and helping us.
I'm always listening, Steve.
Oh, I hear him now. This is like the man behind the curtain. he knows that Moon Knight by Stephen Platt on the wall is his when I check out. So,
as part of the Steve, I just want to say real quick, I started my comic collecting very young. My first comic shop was in Fairbanks, Alaska. And then when I moved to Florida, I ended up working with Mr. Steve at the same comic shop. And that's how we met. So
that's how Kyle and I met many years ago. I was going to school and needed a part-time gig. Kyle was managing a comic shop in Bradenton called The Time Machine. And, I put in, some hours there, and, we talked comics, started hanging out, and the rest is history. We've known each other a long time. But anyway, I think that gives a pretty good basis for all of us. And, we're going to kind of on this show be covering the previous month. So here we are at the end of June. And, but that doesn't mean we're not going to talk about stuff from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Anything's fair game to discuss, but we're going to have certain segments that address the stuff, kind of a month in review, so to speak. So right out of the gate, we're going to talk about Supergirl, the new movie. And there's my little guy, Crypto, my favorite part of all these movies. And Austin, you didn't get a chance to go see it, right?
That's correct. No,
you are a new father. Congratulations on that. So your life has changed drastically. But
yes.
Spencer and I, we're just a couple of young college kids, so we go to the movies and stuff.
Yeah, you're bald by choice, not by age.
Hey, I'm taking night classes. Spencer, what did you think? Without spoilers, this is a no spoiler discussion. We'll just kind of briefly talk about Supergirl. What was your experience? When did you see it? Where did you see it? And what did you think, my friend?
So I saw it on Wednesday at the AMC fan screening in IMAX, which was a pretty good experience. Overall, I think I really enjoyed the movie. I don't think it was perfect by any means, but I definitely liked it a lot more than other comic book movies in recent years. If I were to give it a score out of 10, I'd probably say 7. I think pretty much C, I would give it.
Okay.
I thought the action was pretty fun. I really liked Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I thought she did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And Jason Momoa as Lobo was really entertaining. I can't wait to see more of both of those characters. But I just think the movie kind of fell short in a few areas, maybe some of the emotional beats didn't hit as hard as they could have. And everyone's talking about the needle drop at the end, and I do think that was a very weird decision to have that needle drop. My girlfriend audibly was like laughing at it, so
Yeah.
I didn't love that. I think some of the CGI was a little wonky at some points too, but overall, I really enjoyed it. And as someone who hasn't read the Woman of Tomorrow comic, I was entertained. And I know people who have read the comic are disappointed by the movie, so maybe if I read the comic, my opinion will change. But overall, I had a good time with it, and I think people are being a little hateful, and like it's not as bad as people are saying, I think.
Yeah. You're okay. We're on this show because it's the Flattest State of Comics. It's going to be 7 out of 10 palm trees for Spencer.
7 out of 10 palm trees. I like that.
I'm probably right there with you. I was thinking, 7, 8. 8 out of 10 is a pretty big score.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I really liked Millie as the character. I liked sort of what she was dealing with, and I like how it sort of, again, without spoilers, kind of flashed back to why she's behaving the way she's behaving. I just think maybe because I'm old, I have an issue with James. Is it James Gunn?
James Gunn, yes.
His stuff seems choppy a little bit to me. It kind of lacks flow at times, and I felt that as much as I liked his Superman, there's times that it just sort of felt more segmented.
Oh, I 100% agree on Superman.
Okay, so I'm not alone in that.
Walking out of that movie, I was like, something didn't feel right out of Superman. A lot of people were super high on Superman, but the first time I watched it, I wasn't like super high on it. And
Spencer, I'm in the same boat as you. The second watch is what made me really fall in love with it. But the first watch, I was like, I don't know how to feel. Like I liked it, but I didn't love it. Yeah. The second watch made me love it, but the first watch, I was confused.
Yeah, I think it is one of those ones that, and the more you do, like, again, I was just doing a rewatch last night and this morning of that after seeing Supergirl. And, there's certain scenes, where I just love Superman in that movie. And I'm like, yeah, that is being a human. That is punk rock. That is Superman. That's fucking cool. I like that guy. Yeah. But I got some of that in this. There was a lot of heart, a lot of emotion. And James Gunn doesn't have a problem like killing people in these movies, clearly. And I thought, I heard some people say that they were a little underwhelmed with Lobo. I thought it was a really nice introduction to him, and you get enough of him. I think, without spoiling, it's not like, oh, he's only there briefly. No, you get him, and he's pivotal and important. And I think it was obviously perfect casting, and he can play that guy forever if people care, So overall, I'm probably right there with you. And that the young girl that played is the character Eve. Is that her name? That's kind of on this kind of.
I forget her name.
Yeah. She was good, and in the comic she was a bit long-winded, but I like her motivation and what she was after, and overall I really left liking it, and I like the look of it too, aesthetically. That scene, and again, not spoiler, there's sort of a space bus. I thought that was a really cool scene.
Oh, the action, the action sequence in there was really cool.
Yeah, and I think this will probably fall into that same category of what you guys just talked about, a rewatch. So I'm actually thinking about going again tomorrow, because on the Fandom Podcast Network, and we'll talk about it at the end of the show, there's a podcast called True Believers, and I'm going to be on that show tomorrow night live on YouTube with a spoiler. There it is. Thanks for the graphic, Kyle. Right there. That's tomorrow night at 8. So tune in tomorrow, and I'll be joining Kyle, Kevin, and Lacey for that show, and we're going to do spoilers on the show about Supergirl. And so I may check it out again tomorrow just to have a little better feel for it. But anyway, yeah. All right, cool. I get it. I'm gonna join you with the 7 out of 10 palm trees.
I will say, I think for me on Supergirl, obviously I've only seen it once, but I think it might have the opposite effect that watching
Really?
Superman again had. I feel like if I watching Supergirl again, I think I might like it less.
You think it may take away from it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But speaking of Superman, and David Cornsweet is so good as Superman. I can't wait to see more of him.
It was nice to have him in this, and that's not a spoiler because he's in the trailer.
Yeah, and they basically released every scene he's in. In the movie
Essentially, yeah. So yeah, I agree. So yeah, I don't know how I'll feel after the second one, so I'll let you know.
I will say though, I think them making a Supergirl movie as the second movie of the DCU and it being mediocre and it's probably going to be a box office flop was definitely a weird choice. I don't understand why. And then Clayface is next. For me, it never made any sense to me. Like, we need to do Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, or World's Finest before. To me, it's like, it doesn't make sense to do Supergirl like a derivative character of Superman second. Like,
yeah, it's almost random. It's like I don't see any like
cohesion,
I don't see any reason. Yeah, like why are we bouncing around? And I'm happy. I can't wait for Clayface.
I'm so excited. I'm happy
Mike
we're getting
Flanagan. Is direct. He's insane. He's awesome. But it's like why are we doing Clayface before we're doing Batman?
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they're really slow playing Batman, and then we have the other, Batman thing going on. So I don't think they want to conflict with two Batmans.
And the Batman made like $800 million, and Superman made $600, so they can't really justify cutting the movie that made more money and to make like a new Batman. So
I mean, and now we've got the next Superman being filmed. I'd like to think that women and young girls would go and see this movie. It's a female lead. Adding Lobo is a smart idea to it. It definitely has the space and the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe that James Gunn seems to really enjoy. So, but if you learn anything from what's going on at Marvel, every time they come out with one of these female-centric superhero movies, it doesn't seem to do terribly well.
Yeah, I think the problem it's not female superheroes necessarily. I think the movies they're releasing are just kind of mediocre, and for them to be huge successes and like tap into the female audience, they need to be solid, like really good movies, and they've just been kind of mediocre, like okay movies,
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know how do you make it better? I mean, I loved Mandalorian and Grogu, but that movie Obsession was amazing.
Yeah,
and it crushed it in a financial aspect, and that's really original, fresh stuff. Where we keep kind of taking these existing IPs and the things we love and trying to make it work. I don't know how you could have made this movie necessarily better, though. You know what I mean? How could this movie have possibly bumped up from a 7 or 8 to a 10? I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
Well,
making movies is very hard. So it's not easy to make a 10 out of 10 movie. So
yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for the DCU's future, and I hope we can eventually get to a Justice League. I just fear that with them doing a Supergirl and a Clayface, it's not going to get to the point where we eventually do get a Justice League. They're just going to have to.
Clayface could be a sleeper. It could get a lot of word of mouth.
It definitely could be.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I haven't seen Supergirl, but how many flops until James Gunn's gone and then they restart again?
Yeah, which that is not what I want. I do not want that.
Well, that's the problem. People need to go and see these things at the theater, support it if they want more of it. I treat it like I don't have a lot of time left on this earth, and I want them to keep making stuff. So, people get real jaded, and again, they review bomb, and they're kind of harsh and can be real dicks about this kind of stuff. Yeah. And it was a very entertaining movie. So why not go to the theater and enjoy it and get what you can out of it? And, I get that, everybody should pick and choose where they want to spend their money. But, we have a segment later, our version of Agree and Disagree, where I'll bring up kind of a topic that pertains to what we're talking about. So we'll put a pin in this for now, and we'll move on to our next segment, Comic Book Buzz. All right. Yeah, we're going to talk some current events here. You guys recognize this cover right here? For those of you listening at home and not watching on YouTube, we're showing the image of the comic book Amazing Spider-Man 1000, which hasn't come out yet. And it's the John Romita cover. And if you don't know the story here, they released this image, Marvel did, like a preview. And there was fan backlash that people didn't like this cover to the point where Marvel said, okay, we're pulling it. And this cover is not the cover now. So John Romita Jr.'s kind of a legend in this industry. So how do you guys feel about how this was handled, and what do you think of the cover?
I think it is the cover again now. I think there was a mistake that they said they pulled it, but this is the A cover again. So they went back on what happened, I'm pretty sure.
If that's the case, then they
I'm
did him dirty and then brought it back.
I'm 95% sure this is the A cover again.
What was the mistake they said that was on the cover?
I didn't look too far into it, but I remember everyone thought they pulled it, but then they actually didn't pull it.
Because the guy that I forgot who they said's doing cover A now. It looked like this cover got sacked altogether. It didn't look like it was part of any of the variants or anything. Clearly, Marvel, I think, let themselves kind of be bullied by the fans on this.
Okay, but I'm going to say John Romita Jr. is a legend. I mean, he is a legend. This isn't his best cover, but have we all seen Frank Miller's covers as of lately?
No.
And you can say
Frank Miller's
that's
a
Frank
legend.
Miller. He's always been like that, but Frank Miller's covers, he's a great artist, but they are something else.
Yeah,
and he has tons of variants coming out.
Wolverine, they're still giving him work, and I think he's past obviously his prime. He's earned the spot, and people can choose to buy him or choose to make fun of him, what have you. He actually did a pretty solid Invincible for MegaCon, but
that one was okay.
What was that? That Wolverine one looked really wonky, and again,
the Batman. He did a newer Batman.
If you look at his early Daredevil stuff, or you look at 300, and it's okay, this is awesome. That book that he did, Ronin, was really cool. But that's a style he has that sort of fit, and people should kind of stay in their lane, so to speak. I don't, and I hate, this is kind of a hot take, I guess, because I love John Romita Jr. as an individual, as a person. I've met him on multiple of occasions. Got his signature years ago on stuff. I've never liked his Spider-Man. I just feel Spider-Man has to look kind of gangly and wiry and a little bit smaller. And most of Romita Jr.'s work, and his father was brilliant on Spider-Man, and I get it. But I'd rather Humberto Ramos or somebody like that on Spider-Man. I want him to look younger, wiry, smaller, thin, because that's his powers. But you put John Romita Jr. doing the Punisher, and it makes sense to me. Have him do Hulk, Juggernaut. He was cool on Kick-Ass. That looked cool to me. So I don't dislike his art. I just don't like his Spider-Man. And this cover just looks kind of odd, and I think people were kind of calling it the turkey cover because the pose looks like a Thanksgiving turkey, so to speak.
Yeah, I personally am not the biggest fan of John Romita Jr., but he has undoubtedly had some amazing covers in the past, and his name, with Spider-Man, is so synonymous, and he deserves his flowers. This cover, however, I'm not a fan of, but I don't think they should have pulled it or whatever happened there. And I think people are being a little weird about this whole scenario. I don't know. I definitely don't like the cover and think for issue 1,000 of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they need like.
It's fine, other than it looks like he's kind of going like, I don't know, it's weird in the shoulders. I don't, it's just it's kind of odd looking.
But it doesn't
scream anniversary to me. Like you take away that 1,000 and the anniversary stuff at the bottom, that's just a normal Spider-Man cover. Like I feel like anniversary covers, it's like you have all the characters or like
right.
Yeah, I mean, I want the Sanford Green treatment where he's, got all the villains and just banging the hell out of it. But yeah, all right. So we don't really know where they stand on that, so we'll move on. There's a cover. There's an artist, Dan Quintana. He's this guy's fucking crushing it. Fine artist. I thought this guy, Dan Quintana, had to be formally trained. I can't imagine just being that good. And this is pencil or ink or whatever. But, if you've seen this guy's paintings, his ability, I have a friend that owns an art gallery and deals in fine art and in California. And I sent him pictures of Dan Quintana's work, and he said, this guy's the real deal. I mean, this guy's lighting and ability to capture, the stuff that he captures, the way he captures it, very impressive. So that being said, that is a blank cover sketch that just sold, was it less than a week ago, for $18,000 on Whatnot. So
that's
now
absolutely ridiculous.
You could go to Jim Lee and hand him probably $5,000. Isn't it? What's his going rate? 5, even maybe 10, and you can get a full-on like sketch. This auctioned for $18,000. What do you guys? I mean, it's friggin' cool as shit. But what's your guys' thought?
That's ridiculous. I think like who's paying that? Like that actually
one
blows
person.
my mind. Yeah, that's
one guy.
Crazy.
This is it's insane, and it kind of almost makes you sick. I mean, is he deserving of $18,000? Absolutely. This is beautiful, but $18,000, I don't know.
That's nuts. That's a lot of money, I think
man.
It's a Whatnot thing too, because I mean I love Whatnot. I go on there to buy comics all the time. I've done some like ads with them. I am a big fan of Whatnot, but things definitely, if there's a lot of people in a stream, things will go way more than
it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Who is buying this? Like I've seen just random covers of Absolute Batman that are not worth more than $50 go for like $200. Like, were you guys on the Scott Snyder stream when he did?
Yeah.
Months ago?
I've got a couple things.
Yeah,
I've got a couple things. Yeah, people get caught up into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember someone early bought one for a couple $100, and the same comic like a few hours later went for like $40 or something.
Yeah. Were you on the Todd McFarlane? The first Todd McFarlane one?
No, I was not.
Holy cow. Like $50 to $100 books going for like thousands.
It's insane. It's the swipe. It's too easy.
Yeah.
Just flick.
People get hyped up. There's 2,500 people in there.
Yeah.
And you're Todd McFarlane's right in front of you, and he's signing whatever you're buying right in front of you, and you just that's it. You get too hyped up, and then there's your.
It makes me I just constantly think, not that I don't have a nice collection and I have a nice life, but I'm trying to get that deal and save for a convention and things like that. I'm not, there's some of the money that people drop. I'm like, where the hell are they getting their money? Who has this kind of disposable income?
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Yeah. And I think Dan Quintana, he is the man right now. He is the cover artist.
Yeah.
For Absolute Batman.
Yeah. I had never heard of him until MegaCon last summer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was always just an A cover guy. I just go because I was mainly a reader. But then once I went to MegaCon,
this is the one here that set him off.
Yeah.
So that was right before MegaCon, because I remember the Poison Ivy one he did for MegaCon that everyone was tweaking about.
He sent me that actually because he saw one of my reels, kind of making fun of him and the heavy mental whatnot stream. Yeah. And he just said, "Are you going to go to the signing in LA?" And I said, "I live in Florida. I can't do that." So I contacted the owner of Legacy Comics, where it was held. Big shout out to Legacy Comics. And Dan signed me and sent me the MegaCon. I thought it was going to be the Scarecrow cover, but I actually like the Poison Ivy cover better. And he's got the paintbrush signature, and he charged me like $45.
Oh,
and
nice.
I gave Legacy, money for their trouble. And then I actually scored. He did a Akira print, and I got that for like $60, and he signed that. So he's a good dude. He showed mercy on me because I was kind of whining a bit on Instagram, and he hooked me up. So,
dude, his first Whatnot stream, do you remember that? When like he was, I don't know if it was his first one, but the one where he, like, his books were going for like $2,000 each.
Yeah, that was it. And
I think there was a YouTuber that made like a video about it and like how much money he made. It was like over $250,000.
Yeah, so they were selling everything too. They were selling
on the Whatnot screen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him though. Like,
I know, dude. Get your bag.
That's awesome because the comic book industry.
No, and again, it was just kind of poorly handled overall, and I think people blamed him a little bit. They blamed Heavy Mental a little bit, and it kind of, I guess, it was something that needed to be corrected, and they have since really done well with things. And Dan, I think, really felt bad that people were kind of soured by what happened. So, it seems, it's deserving, know your worth. And, the guy's kind of a rock star, and he's actually a really cool dude. I've kind of DM'd back and forth with him several times, and he's a legit cool guy, but man, he's talented as shit. There's a handful of these guys making these, and we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. Also, we've got that in a final segment too. So we'll move on to the next thing, Kyle. Oh boy!
Yeah, this is what I'm hyped about.
Yeah, this is sick.
So this was just announced, and nobody's even looking at those bottom two so much. I'm excited. I'll watch it with my dog. I have no idea what Joker Laugh Riot is, but everybody's real hyped about animated Absolute Batman, R-rated. Scott Snyder will be the showrunner, and Dragata is a producer on this show. So if they've got creative control, what do you guys think? Are we looking at our next Invincible?
I think so.
I think it's going to be better.
This is huge for comic books. Like, this is a big deal. Like, this could blow up the comic book industry like more than it already is blowing up with like Invincible and stuff like that. Because it's
you got to think. Yeah, you got to think how long it took for Invincible to get a series. Like, Absolute Batman is still ongoing.
That's current. Yeah.
Invincible finished like 2015 or something like that. And they had a hiatus, and then they came back and finished it or whatever.
Yeah, I just think it's going to get so many new people into comics. Like, especially if it's good and done properly, which it has Scott and Nick Dragotta on it. So I think that's perfect. But I've seen some people be like, why not just read the comic? Like, there's no point to this. It's like, do you realize how many people are going to get into Absolute Batman and other comic books?
I don't get people that make those kind of comments. I want that. Then I want live action. And
yeah, exactly. I want everything.
Cool. I want as much, bring the goddamn action figures. Bring everything. I want.
We're getting McFarlane's. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's some McFarlane Absolute Batman. Absolute everything, I think.
Yeah.
There's actually going to be the Absolute Batman Funko.
Yeah, which
Diego, and it's so limited. Nobody's going to get shit. Nobody's going to get anything. But yeah, I'm excited about the show. I mean, and some people feel like it's too soon, yada, yada, yada. They just announced it, and it's animated. So when do you think we would actually even see this show?
I would say 2 years probably.
Yeah,
that'd be 28, right?
I think this is what I think Absolute Batman is the perfect segue to start doing like kind of like the Japanese anime style adaptations of comic books.
Right.
Because the problem with comic books and getting adaptations before is there's such a long history and so many different runs, and there's such a convoluted history to comic books, so it's hard to get like a one-for-one adaptation, sort of like anime is in Japan. But with Absolute Batman, it's so new. Like,
and Absolute Batman is like, it's manga inspired. That's why a lot of people like it so much.
Right.
It's kind of like a manga. So it's a no-brainer for animated. I'm glad they did animated and then they didn't do live action. Although I think that would be cool.
I think animated's the
way to
move.
go.
How do you feel about 3D?
Yeah.
How do you feel that it's going to be 3D?
I didn't know that it's going to be 3D.
Yeah, it's
the
3D.
whole thing.
Is it a TV show or a movie?
It's a TV show, I'm pretty sure, but it's going to be
3D
animated.
3D?
Oh,
like 3D? No, not 3D. Sorry,
animated.
3D animated.
Oh,
like if it's like
Spider-Verse, it's all CGI, right?
CGI,
It's not
3D animated CGI.
It's not like okay, all right, yeah, that's interesting too. But yeah, you're right, Austin. I think, and I mentioned on episode 0, we did an episode 0 of this show, the Flattest State of Comics, where it's always kind of been my theory, because when you go to Bat City, and Austin, you go there and you probably see the same thing, Spencer, up at Emerald City. Absolute Batman has brought in really young people into comics like we haven't seen forever. And Bat City said, yeah, we've got high school students coming in on that particular Wednesday saying it's Absolute Batman Day. And I just kind of put 2 and 2 together that these young people were probably into anime and probably still are, and into manga. And now there's a character that they're familiar with that maybe their dad liked or somebody else liked, and they heard about it. And now it resonates with them, and they're checking it out. And some people are knocking it for that, but I think they're doing a great job. I look forward to that book every month.
It's my favorite book on shelves by far.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think, and what DC's doing with the compacts too is genius. I think if they like the DC compacts, like the $10, if they release an absolute Batman compact when
it's gonna feel like
anime comes out,
manga,
blow up. Like that will be huge.
Yeah,
and I think that's what DC's doing right as opposed to Marvel. Like Marvel has their little compacts, but they're not as good, I don't think.
No, the DC ones are perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the.
Anything else on that new show?
I want lots of blood. I don't want them to hold back.
R-rated
TVMA. That's what we need.
So they just got done announcing Nightfall, which is R-rated. You know, the main thing, and that's like a 3-part movie. And then they announced this. So it's kind of shocking that we're getting all this, and I hope they don't take it away from us. I'm scared. Yeah. I want to hear that they're working on it, and I want to hear dates, and I want to hear, you know.
Have you guys? Because I'm in the midst of selling a lot of my Absolute Batman books. And we might have a segment later talking about that, but trying to just do cover A and just read, and I have too many incentives. Anyways, so Steve, you and I were talking about this, and you saw it for sale, and you were asking me about it, and we were kind of talking about it, and then this announcement gets made, and you're like, hold. And I'm like, I am going to hold now. You know, I don't need to sell. It's not money wise, it's more space. But Absolute Batman #1 is blowing up again.
Yeah, and
it got down to like, you know, $200, and now it's like shooting.
Yeah, and I just got that book back.
Two of them back there on the wall. One signed by both Snyder and Dragotta, and then #198. Yeah.
Literally, like
they're not going nowhere though. I want them. I want to keep them.
Yeah. People are excited.
Yeah, as they should be. And again, it's, you know, everybody's always talking about, okay, well, they're not rare, or they only made, you know, they made 200,000, or, you know, 5,000 is not even rare. There's 8 billion people on this planet. If this show takes off and everybody wants a copy of it, damn it, it's rare.
Also, Amazing Spider-Man 300 has like 300,000 copies, right? And there's that book's worth how much? Like,
right. It's all supply and demand, and the demand part is obviously crucial.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We've got this segment, Fire Comic Cover of the Month. What this is all about is that each of us here will choose this past month's favorite cover that for them that they pulled off the shelf. And if you want to, you can also show a retailer exclusive variant. So it's this kind of, you can show 2 or 3 books. So it's kind of your favorite cover of this past month, but it has to have been a June book. Who wants to go first?
You go first, Spencer.
Yeah, I can go first. I only got 1 book, but I got this David Nakayama Flash
DNA.
color block. I have
Back
been
it up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Little glare there. Okay. Yeah, DNA. You got to love everything David Nakayama does.
Yeah. He's been killing it. I've been picking up almost every single one of these color block variants, and this one is one of my favorites because he hasn't done a ton of DC ones as of recent, at least. He did like a Nightwing, a Wonder Woman, and I think like Harley Quinn. And that Flash one is just too clean. He's definitely one of my favorite artists. I got some stuff signed by him at MegaCon, and that was a super cool experience. So
you recognize it immediately when it's a David Nakayama cover.
Yeah, I love all his covers, not even just the color blocks. They're so clean. I love his Transformers covers. They're just.
I liked his Battle Beast that he did. That was cool.
Oh, I got that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
And that was Flash issue what?
Flash. 34.
It's not Absolute Flash, right? It's regular.
No, it's just mainline Flash 34.
Yeah. Cool. Austin?
So, I didn't do well in school, and obviously, this is gonna show. So I misunderstood the assignment. So I thought it was books we got this month, and you were just showing a fun cover. But you did get this book this month. It took forever, but it is Absolute Batman number 19.
Oh wow!
This is Mitch Gerard. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
This
That's
is like limited.
sick. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, it's limited to 150, and for whatever reason, it took a little bit to get to me, but it's really, really sick.
Is his signature kind of like Panosian's, where he makes it look like he's saying it?
Yeah, it's just it says his name.
And Panosian does that. I'm kind of mixed on that way of signing, but I really like Dan Panosian, so I wasn't going to say, hey, don't fucking do that.
Yeah, no, this is sick. This is sick. I've never heard of him.
That works well with the Scarecrow. What number is that? 19?
19, yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up the assignment.
Yeah, I fucked it up. And then I have another book, since we're talking about David Nakayama. This is I think this is his first cover.
Really? That's sweet.
I'm pretty sure, or it's his first Marvel cover, but I'm pretty sure this is his first cover ever that he's ever done. And this is like a Star Wars key, and it's pretty sick.
Let me see it again. Oh, Tails, yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah.
I don't forget the key of it, but they might be just his first cover, and that's the key. So,
is that it?
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Next month I won't fuck it up.
Did either of you guys secure? Did either of you guys secure that Dan Mora Absolute Batman?
Yeah, I got it.
I got that one too. I'm excited for that one to come.
Yeah, I didn't realize it because I was on the fence. I'm like, it's cool, but it didn't look like it was going to be difficult for me to score. And I'm like, well, it was like a weird. The company that was selling it,
a Spanish company.
Yeah, because it was like foreign in some nature. So I'm kind of like, I kind of hate doing the money thing like this because I'm always afraid something's going to happen. But I'm like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, that book like blowing up. People just kept talking. I'm like, you can't go wrong with Dan Morris.
I FOMO bought that one for sure. I just got the regular A cover.
I'm excited now to have
signature or whatever.
Did you guys see that Dexter Soy homage to oh my gosh, what's the movie called? Oh, The Shining.
Yeah,
you guys pick those up?
I've got that coming.
21. Yeah, I've got that coming
too.
Did
it hasn't arrived yet, but I have that Dexter Soy that did
one?
Dude, that's so sick.
That one's sweet. I really want that one.
Yeah. And I hope to be able to show it on the show, but I have a commission coming from Dexter Soy of Absolute Batman, and he showed a picture of Absolute Batman on his Instagram, and I'm like, is that mine? I wonder if that's mine because it's really cool. And I'm like, that could be mine, because I talked to the person that I've been dealing with, and he's working on it. And I'm like, oh God, that might be mine. That'd be cool. But yeah, so that's a retailer from Big Time Collectibles. But yeah, these glares, we should have maybe thought about that. But,
They have killing it.
This was off the shelf. Catwoman #1. You can see Batman in her, her head thing there, the helmet, but kind of a hot cover by Kari Andrews. So that was on the shelf. That's not a retailer exclusive. That's like, I don't know, in variant B or whatever. And then this was my favorite actual cover off the shelf. And I think it's cover A of Batman 10, or it's a variant. Dustin Gwinn, Batman 10.
That's super.
This came out at the beginning of the month. I just love this cover. I think the cape is so cool. Look how cool Batman looks. But this is the Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez book. But I just thought that was a cool ass cover. And then a couple retailer variants. I don't know if you guys read M1 Monster Racing League, but that's the Dave Dorman.
Wow.
Cover. That's Jay Lee's new book, and it's signed by Dave Dorman. Hell Destroyer did this with him, but that's a Dave Dorman cover, and I thought that was pretty dope. And then these just came in the mail yesterday and today. They came separately, but that's Dan Quintana's Two-Face.
Wow.
That glare is killing.
Wow, that's creepy.
I'm gonna take this one out so you can actually see it. So there's the version of the cover.
Wow.
But they shipped separately, and these I forgot who the AC Pop retailer variant, but if I can ever score Quintana, I do so. I mean, it's just, you got the gun. He looks cool as hell. Looks creepy. The hair looks cool. So yeah, got both of those. All right, cool stuff. All right, Kyle, what's next? Oh, Impact Read. I hope you figured this one out, Austin. This was the book of the month that you chose as your favorite read. What book did you enjoy the most? Austin, you go first.
So no, I fucked that up too. No, I've been reading older books. So, yeah, I haven't.
Austin, you've been held back a grade.
I already have been, so fucking let's do it.
He's in 9th grade right now.
Yeah.
No. Did you read the latest issue of Absolute with Two-Face?
No, I have not.
Oh wow, you are a dad.
That
You are a new dad.
Screwed me over. I was supposed to get it this, I thought I was going to get it this week, but.
Oh wow, okay. So what have you read that you've enjoyed?
So have you guys ever read How to Do a Power Bomb?
Oh, I've been trying to find it. I cannot find it anywhere. The trade.
Yeah.
I want to read it so bad. I love Daniel
Let me see
Warren
if I have
Johnson.
it. I think I have it cover in here.
That was actually my favorite thing that he did. I didn't like Murder Falcon near as much as the Power Bomb.
Yeah, so
I liked them both a lot, but I thought Do a Power Bomb was, and I'm not, Kyle, our engineer, is a big wrestling guy.
Okay.
And he Kyle, if you haven't read this, I need to lend it to you. You need to read it. It's a great book by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yeah, you tell me about it. I've definitely got to check it out.
Yeah, so Daniel Warren Johnson is my favorite artist, and he's my favorite writer in comics. So this is actually a reread for me. I read it digitally first, which is weird, I know. And then I went back and got the back issues, and this is number 7, and it's a variant. And it's got Spawn with, I think this guy's name is Cobra Sun. And I just thought it was cool. I got this at Bat City, And so I reread Do a Powerbomb.
Yeah.
this month, and it's good, dude. Every Daniel Warren Johnson story, not so much his one shot with his Batman one shot, but his original stuff, dude, it makes me cry. Like, and I'm not super emotional. Like, I'm not a super emotional guy, but like Do a Powerbomb, Murder Falcon, like, dude, they all.
I haven't read Extremity. Did you guys read it?
Extremity is good.
I've only read his Transformers, and I love his Transformers.
Transformers made me cry. Like, it all just hit little notes for me. Like, you know, my dad.
His absolute Batman annual was amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And he's working on something, because I met Ryan Stegman, who did that picture right there of Absolute Batman over my shoulder at a little convention here in Sarasota, SiestaCon, just a couple months ago. And they're buddies, him and Daniel Warren Johnson. And he wouldn't tell me anything, but he said he's working on something new. So, so expect something cool, because everything he does is really good.
Yeah, I saw a short on Instagram. Someone was like interviewing him, and they asked him what he was working on, and he said, "I pitched something to Marvel, but they turned it down." And I'm like,
"What?
Oh, what are we doing?"
Why would anybody?
I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, what are we doing?
You know what it reminds me of? I was just hearing a story how HBO actually turned down Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's
considered like the best show of all time. HBO said, "Nah," and they were a dick about it. They said, they're like, "Nah," and they were like really shitty about it. And then look what happened. But I think they'll be okay. But yeah, that sounds like that same kind of thing. Why would you say no to Daniel Warren Johnson?
Yeah, anything he touches is gold, man. Yeah, and I do want to make a video about him. He's fantastic, and his original art is insane.
I've been grabbing up covers of his. Let me take a look here real quick. I think I've got just for
he's
fun.
got such a unique style too.
There's a cool Katana Batman before he started doing. It was just a direct DC book, but here's a cool Cable that Daniel Warren Johnson did.
Oh, that's sick. Sweet.
Shatterstar and Domino, and then I never read this, but I want to read it. The Beta Ray Bill thing that Daniel.
I've been meaning to read that one. That one looks super cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Where'd you get that? Did you get that online, or did you get it at your?
If I'll see them on eBay, $5-10, I'll grab them.
Yeah. Well, I have his Absolute Batman #2 variant.
Oh, I like that. I don't have that.
I can't get it out, but it's somewhere back there.
Yeah.
Go get it.
It's under like $5.
All right. What was your favorite read, Spencer?
I don't have it on me, but it's Absolute Batman 21 for sure. Yeah. That was such a great issue. Are we talking spoilers, or no? I guess you didn't read it all?
Yeah,
I know what happened. Spoil it up.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember if this was the first interaction between Joker and Bruce, but that interaction on the rooftop was so good.
Yeah.
I've seen clips of that.
The reveal at the end of Clayface, I'm just so excited for the next few issues of the series. It's just every issue, just 10 out of 10 every single time. I love it so much.
I did see somebody do a reel on Instagram talking about maybe pump the brakes a little bit. You know,
because
we just keep getting, and again, I don't know if you can maintain that pace. I guess that would be the fear of pumping why you'd say pump the brakes is, if they've got this mapped out where they can keep this pace, where they keep doing characters and stuff like that. But, with all this, we're just getting, Clayface and then the Joker thing and the Robins. Do we really need Clayface? Yeah. Two-Face.
The Robin stuff was so brief too. It was like teased at the end of 20, and then kind of just 21, and they fought for like.
They were a bit more. They were a bit more in 21. At that party and talking and stuff like that. But
I'm curious what happens with Dick Grayson, because he was kind of like, what are we doing? We have to go help the people. We just destroyed all these buildings. Like he's kind of got some of that classic Nightwing energy in him. So I'm curious if he stays with them or like maybe flip sides.
That was another thing people seemed kind of a little confused by, that all the Robins seem to be like the Robins in the regular continuity. Like, Jason Todd's kind of a hothead and a dick. You just like he is, I mean, you kind of were thinking maybe they'd flip some of these characters a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe personalities would carry over, but it's interesting, and I'm trusting the process with Snyder. So
yeah. Did you guys read Absolute Catwoman?
Yeah, it's in my list of stuff. I'm loving that Absolute Green Arrow.
Yes.
Not me, dude.
Absolute 21 Batman was a great issue. I really liked Catwoman. Shea Grayson and Snyder working together on that book. And it's like a 4-issue miniseries, just like Green Arrow. This is an exceptional book. If Destruction Be Our Lot. This is issue 2. This is a exceptionally good book. That was high on my list. This was, in my opinion, the best issue of Dork so far. That's Daniel Warren Johnson's cover right there. Was that 7, 8, 6, 7, 8? But I thought it was the best issue so far. And then I really did enjoy that. It's fun. It feels sort of, if you didn't read it, this girl goes from San Diego to Tokyo. She's kind of rebelling against her dad that kind of made her make this move. And then she gets involved like in this underground racing thing, but then like superpowers and monsters are kind of involved. So it definitely feels like it could be an animated show. But my read of the month was Only the Savage Are Left by Zach Kaplan. It's kind of like Last of Us or maybe a Walking Dead kind of vibe, but it's, post-apocalyptic thing with creatures. There's a virus, and it's despite the fact that it sounds familiar, it's awfully fresh. It's really cool. Zach Kaplan's kind of on a roll.
Dark Horse? Is that
Dark Horse Comics? Yeah. This was a really, really good read. So I added that to my pull list. Yeah. All right. So next, Kyle, what do we got? Look at that.
I did this right.
You did this one right. All right. Comic book Pay It Forward. This is where each of us on the show, and I guess it's just going to be the three of us tonight, purchased a comic. Hopefully you all did it, and then gave it to somebody that doesn't generally read comics, and got a little bit of a reaction. So Spencer, what do you got?
All right. So I did this a little bit differently because the person who I wanted to get into comics is from Madison, so lives across the country.
Okay.
And this is a guy who I've been best friends with. I lived with him, and I've been telling him to get into comics for years and years and years. I'm like, dude, you would love he's a huge anime guy and he reads manga. I'm like, you have to get into DC and Marvel comics, like, and just comic books in general. You'll love them. And finally last week, he's like, all right, bro, I'm going to the comic book store. So I called him when he was at the comic book store, and I told him exactly what to buy. I was like, you need to get Absolute Batman the Annual, and Absolute Catwoman. I told him those were 3 great books that you should start with, and he read the Absolute Batman Annual and loved it. He's like, this was so cool. Like,
yeah,
what's up with Absolute Batman? Like, is he on some serum or something? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. You got to just read the book, like read the trade paperback, and you'll get into it. And so, yeah. And then he saw Supergirl and got the opening night little comic book you could get. So I'm hoping that he becomes like a comic book guy, because I know it's so up his alley.
Yeah, so it gives you another thing you can connect with, something you can talk about. That's cool.
Yeah.
He may be a future host on the show with us.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, he's a Wisconsinite, but
not a Packer fan, are you guys?
I'm a Packer fan, but I'm not a huge sports guy in general.
Sports. I'm not in sports.
we have a whole segment where we're going to talk about the World Cup here in a minute. So
That's my end. Boop. Baby's crying. Baby's crying.
Baby's crying. Diaper alert.
Diaper alert. Well, she's probably out right now. Yeah.
All right, Austin, Spencer's very cool. That's cool. That's awesome that you got your friend to make the move. That was a cool way to do it. Just send his ass over there and spend his own money.
And he walked in there. He's like, dude, this is so overwhelming. I'm like, I know. Here's what you need to do. Because like obviously when you first walk into a comic shop, you don't know the difference between a back issue and a trade paperback and a new single issue. So it's like, if you don't know, it's a very overwhelming experience.
Yeah. Austin, what you got?
So my wife, she sees me reading comics all the time. So I thought dork number one,
that's what she called you. She called you dork. Huh?
Yeah,
I thought she sees you reading. She calls you a dork.
So I have Absolute Batman. I've got a Daniel Warren Johnson stuff, but I thought I wanted to keep it dork. You can blow by. It's a super fun, super fast read. I'm like, this is perfect. So I gave her dork number one, and she loved it. I asked her what she rated it as someone who doesn't read comics, and she rated it 8 out of 10.
Okay.
And she loved it. She was I was next to her while she was reading it. I was feeding our daughter, and she was reading that, and multiple laughs.
Cool.
And she loved it. So I asked her if she wants to read number 2, and she said no. She said, no, not really. I mean, I'm not itching to read it, but that might be just dork. That might be the issue she read. Maybe it didn't grab her, but she did like it when she read it. So maybe I'll convince her to read number 2. But
I mean, there's so many other things that people choose to be entertained by, and to hold a comic and read it, isn't everybody's cup of tea. But even if you're, when I got back into it, kind of hot and heavy a few years back, my girl, oh my God, she was on Whatnot swiping, and all of a sudden these books were showing up. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, yeah, Mellow Fellow had this. It was like $200. I didn't mean to swipe. And so I've got all these books. She's got like boxes of these things. And I'm like, are you reading any of it? And she's like, I will. I'm like, put your phone down. You got to put your phone down first.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, I was high on that M1, the Monster Racing League. It's actually a super cool book, super fun. I have a coworker. I work at a hospital in a rehab department, do physical therapy, and one of my coworkers is a woman, and she has 2 college-age kids, and I know that, she sometimes talks about certain, like shows and things like that. So I'm like, I should probably like this. And I knew she actually was like a fan of F1 racing. So I'm like, I'm going to buy this book for her. And to my surprise, like the very next day at work, she thought I was just lending it to her. She wanted to give it back to me. I said, no, it's yours. Keep it. Let your kids check it out, whatever, your husband. And she loved it. She thought it was cool as hell. And, she started asking me all kinds of questions about, where do you go from here? And, so I'll give her, number 2 probably as well. But I'm anxious to see, because she had showed like her daughter, but I don't think her daughter had read it yet, but she expressed interest in it also. And, it was just fun to kind of, give somebody a comic, doesn't generally collect them, and just tell them that, I saw this and I kind of thought you might like it. Maybe you and your family check it out. And, so it was a cool experience, but, I wouldn't mind maybe doing that, bugging a few neighbors, maybe, I'll give something to Austin's wife that she'll like.
Yeah, I guess
that didn't sound right.
Yeah. Hey man, hey, walking right now.
All right, Kyle, where are we at? Kyle, you there? Uh-oh, did we lose Kyle? Oh, here we go. So let's hold that image there. That's our mascot, Elvis. And if you're familiar why I'm calling him Elvis, it's because on the TV show Miami Vice, Don Johnson had a pet alligator on his boat called Elvis. So that's Elvis, and this is our version of agree or disagree. So you guys should have cards made, and I've got to find the questions. So
I failed the assignment.
Oh God,
dude.
Just quickly write down on a piece of paper and
okay.
I did this one right, Steve. I should get an A+.
It's so hard to find good help these days.
Where's my questions though? Hang on a second. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? All right, Kyle, you can lose the graphic. Bring us up. Spencer, are you putting something together? You just got to spell concur and beg to differ on a slip of paper. But I'm going to make you feel real bad when you see my signs.
I heard that. I'm excited to see him.
Take your time there, Spencer.
Steve's cards sparkle like twilight.
As they should.
All right, I got it.
You good?
Yep.
I'm wearing readers. I look like Ben Franklin. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first question is, can you be a fan of both the Snyderverse and the Gunverse? 1, 2, 3. Where's my thing? Look at that. Speaking of dork. Oh, look at that little image.
Yeah.
Spencer wins. Look at his paper.
Oh.
Why is mine backwards, Kyle?
Yeah, they're all backwards, I think. Yours is good.
Oh, yours is right. I think we just see it as backwards.
Mine looks backwards to me.
Yeah, we just see them as backwards. Yeah, so mine's the dork kind of thing. So, I liked the Snyderverse. I don't have a lot of hate for it, and I like a lot of Zack Snyder's work. I love Watchmen. I think Watchmen is one of the coolest superhero movies ever made. I love 300.
Yeah.
I don't mind Sucker Punch. I don't have hate for Superman versus Batman. There's a lot about it stylistically and the look, the fight scene with Ben Affleck. You know, they on later watches, I didn't mind Doomsday as much as I did the first time at the theater. The casting of everybody I liked. He did a good job with that. You know, it's stylized, and some people have issue with that, but some people love it and then hate the Gunverse. I like the silly kind of comic-y costumes as well, and I like them both. You guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I like them both. I love Ben Affleck's Batman. I wish we would have gotten a solo movie with him. I don't like the fact that he kills or whatever, but
yeah,
I really like the costume. I love his performance as Batman, and that fight scene in the warehouse in BVS that's like my favorite Batman scene in any of the movies.
Yeah,
and I don't mind Man of Steel. It's not my favorite movie ever, but there are aspects of it that I like more than the James Gunn Superman movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think it's stupid that people feel they need to pick a side.
Yeah,
we're talking about movies, guys. You can like one movie and not like the other. I like Henry Cavill Superman, and I like David Cornswell Superman.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like you don't have to pick a side, and I'm so easy to please. Like when I watch a movie, and people say it sucked. I'm like, oh, it was fine. It was good. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're just different. They're just different. Different takes on superheroes and different take on DC stuff.
And I really like the Snyder cut, honestly, of Justice League.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to see where that would have went, whether that would have been like an animated adaptation or a comic book. I'd still like to see that story finish.
How'd you guys feel about the Flash?
Honestly, I feel like as a movie, I enjoyed it.
I don't hate that movie.
I don't hate that movie. I think some of the stuff with like the CGI Christopher Reeve
Yeah, towards the end.
And I don't know, some of that stuff was kind of wonky, but I think the story of that movie was
like Michael
pretty
Keaton.
solid.
I like Michael Keaton in it. I like the Batgirl in it. I kind of like the beginning scene with Batman on the bridge, and then Wonder Woman showing up was kind of clever.
Yeah. I love that theme. Besides the suit that Ben Affleck's wearing, that suit is horrendous. I think.
Yeah.
That
it was different. They put some blue in there, and then there was some bedazzled stuff.
I don't want to see Batman during the day.
It's not the blue. The blue looked good. It's that armory, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was wearing, but I did not like that.
They tried to tech him up, and he looked cooler when he was kind of the Dark Knight Batman. I mean, that's the cool costume.
That's the best Batman costume that they've put to screen, I think.
Give us young actors. Henry Cavill and like all those guys were too old. Like I feel
David
like
Cornswell's
it ended when it needed to. Yeah, he's perfect, but I don't do old, like anything past 45. What are we doing, guys?
That's what also too.
Movies take a long time to film.
Yeah, going back to that DCU, like what are they doing with Batman? I don't want them to start at Damian Wayne. Like having a Batman who's already on Damian Wayne paired with a Superman who's in his like third year does not seem great if that's what they're gonna do. I don't know.
Yeah, the actor, whoever plays Batman, needs to be, I think, under 40.
Oh yeah,
around the same age as David Cornswell. That would be
and then say he's in a movie every 5 years. I mean, shoot, the guy will be 50 in 2 movies. It's like
at that rate, you gotta, and that's how they have to approach it in that James Bond sense. Also, you can't be getting a guy that's gonna be 50 sooner than later, right? Yeah. All right, next, concur or beg to differ. Retailer exclusive comic covers are bad for the hobby. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we got 2 beg to differs and a concur. Yeah. So, as somebody that's selling like all these, so I'm gonna stop for a second, Austin, because at one point you were producing reels where it was your mission to have every variant cover.
Yeah, that would be impossible nowadays.
So there's
what happened?
So I got the bug, dude. I got the itch, and I was going hard, and I had like all cover A's up to like, at the time when I started was like, I think I had Absolute Batman number 6 came out, or 7 maybe, and I had all cover A's or cover B's or whatever, and I was just reading them, and then incentives came in, and I started going crazy, and I just got the itch, and I think comic books are supposed to be read, and there is a collectible portion of it, but I feel like it's gone too far. Yeah. It's like, especially with Dan Quintana stuff like that's what put me over the edge, Steve. It's like, how many 2 live streams we were in there together trying to get books, and it was like we couldn't get it, and it was like I stayed up 2 hours for it, and it was like 12 o'clock, and I was like,
I'm kind of in the middle on this one. I agree with you. I think they're really cool, and I think they should do them. I just think they sell out too easily, and they're expensive. Like, I don't know. I like them. I
think incentive comics in stores is fine, because you're not asking. You maybe get the one of 25 or one of 50 or whatever those incentives, but the stuff that's like Whatnot and the stuff that's on like that are coming in, like the Dexter Toy stuff, like once those sell out, you get major FOMO, and then you're on eBay, and then it's just like a rabbit hole. So it's like, I wish I never started that. I wish I just kept with Absolute Batman and the Absolute series and just picked up what I could get at the store. I don't know. It's just getting a little crazy.
Hey, Steve, can I weigh in on this real quick?
Sure.
Just because you and I worked together in a comic book store in the 90s when the first variant cover aspect went absolutely wild and almost bankrupt the entire industry in the 90s, I am shocked you actually said beg to differ.
Well, I'm gonna give you my take on this.
You've got the itch.
It does come down to self-control. You have to pick and choose what you really like as a person that really loves to read comics, but also really appreciates art, I think it's a great way for artists to be able to work. And without the retailer exclusive variants, there'd be less work for these artists. And, it does seem like overkill, and people that feel obligated to, I got to get every cover. I don't even always buy the A cover of a book. I mean, sometimes I just like, okay, that David Nakayama's cool. That Panosian's cool. That I want the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. So it gives me options, or I'll buy the A cover to read, and then I get another one to kind of collect. I'd like to have that. But again, I think it's more work for artists out there. And, we should be afraid that work is going to go away for artists because of AI and things like that. I think it's fun to, it's only kind of a couple guys that I will go out of my way to try to get. And it is like Dexter Soy, Dan Quintana, who's got a DC variant coming out. So it's not even a retailer exclusive. You guys probably seen that he's got a Harley Quinn cover coming out that's direct at the stores from DC. Ito, I love this guy's sort of watercolor painting style. And it's sort of like collecting, trading cards. If you're buying it for the art, not really what's inside, you're putting it in plastic, putting it on your wall over here. And I'm at the point now where I'm running out of space. So I've really just been forced to curtail picking up anything. I got my room where I want it. And there, other than that, Dexter Soy original art print that's coming, I don't really have room for anything else. And again, you can start kind of rotating, but I don't need to do that. So I've really curtailed and slowed down what I pick up. Like your collection of stuff, it almost sounds like you're sort of like bitter about how it kind of made you feel, and you just feel like you need to purge yourself of it now. Again, with what's going on with this new animated Absolute Batman series coming out, might not be a bad idea to hold or cherry pick a few things, put it aside. You've got a kid now, maybe you put it in a box for your kid. Kind of a cool option, but I get it. And again, I'm someone that kind of strives for minimalism, and it's weird to have a hobby where you're buying a bunch of shit when you're trying to live life a bit more like a minimalist.
Yes, Steve. I am like, my wife hates that I'm like this, but my personality type is like, once I get that itch with whatever, like I had to change my name to the Retro Corner because I go through so many hobbies, and comic books have always been kind of in the background. And so it's just the Retro Corner, anything retro. I kind of, it's everything.
I'm exactly the same way.
I go too hard. So I started collecting variants, and I've got the Claymans, I've got the Jocks, I've got the Dexter Soys, and like I took a step back, and I'm like, uh-oh, like I've got $2,000 easily $2,000 in the comics here.
I'm exactly the same way. That's me with Lego right now. You can see I got the Bugle.
Dude. I'm the same
Arkham.
way.
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah, dude.
I can't see it. Somewhere down there, I got Arkham. I'm trying to build like a city on this shelf. It's just like.
Yeah, dude.
Friends forever, buddies.
Some sweet customs.
I get it. I used to have a drinking problem, and I do a podcast called Craft Free: The Adventures of a Sober Nerd on Spotify. And I was doing it weekly, and because of this new podcast with you guys, I've switched it to monthly. I'll be recording tomorrow. And 3.5 years ago, I quit drinking because I was drinking every day, craft beer, traveled the world, drinking really expensive, high-calorie beer. I got up to 400 pounds. Wow. I was going to die in my sleep, and nobody was going to be surprised. And, once I quit, and started, exercising, started playing baseball and re-embraced old hobbies like comic books. I get what, excess can do. And I just, if you can, again, I couldn't moderate drinking, but I feel like I can moderate this. And, there's times that you'll see me put stuff for sale on Instagram and occasionally on eBay, but it's all to kind of like then get something else in the hobby. I went to that convention here in Sarasota with no money to spend. And I took books that I just didn't give a shit about. And one of the dealers gave me like $360. And I'm like, that's, now I'm headed straight over to Ryan Stegman, and he's a Detroit guy. He did that, that picture over my shoulder over there for hardly anything and hooked me up. And, I left so happy. I'm like, I parlayed stuff that I didn't really care about anymore right on the spot, turned it into money, hooked him up. I got something that I love and I'll keep forever. And, that's kind of how I approach this hobby, but I get it. It can get away from you, and then you can get a little either butthurt or bitter or a little soured. But, it's nice stuff to look at. And again, if you time it right, again, I do like to think that my stuff's going to hold value and have value because, if I want to upgrade or someday just walk away from all of it, I'd like to get something for it. All right, next question. I sometimes forget I already own a comic and buy it a second time. You've never done that, Austin?
No.
It's only happened to me a few times, but I have definitely done it. Mostly with back issues. Like,
yeah.
I was tracking down the New Avengers, Illuminati, all those issues, and I already had a few of them, and I bought like the entire run, and I was like, wait, I got home and I was like, I already have these. What am I doing?
Yeah. If you have a good comic store, you can sometimes say, can I just trade this out for something else? I had it at home and I didn't realize it. But I'll go through things that I'm like, oh, I want that. I need that. And then I'm like, oh God, now I got 2 copies of that. What the hell?
Do you guys use League of Comic Geeks at all?
Yeah.
Because I have my whole collection in there, so I can like.
Oh, see, I don't do that. It just seems like a really labor intensive thing to do any kind of database or anything like that.
Honestly, I have probably like 2,000 single issues, and it didn't take me.
How many short boxes do you have?
I think I have 7 here, and then I have 2 up in Wisconsin at my parents'.
Okay, so not a
whole lot.
Yeah,
that's a good amount, but
I use Key Collector to track my books.
I have all these things, but I don't do anything to track them. It just seems really labor intensive to upload all this stuff.
Key Collector, I'm pretty sure, maybe not. You can just scan it and it'll.
Yeah, you can do that on Comic Geeks as well.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did it three short boxes ago, so now every time I just get new books, I add them right away.
And it'll tell you rough values, at least for Key Collector. It'll tell you like rough values. They're usually high, but
well, all right. So that's the end of Concur and Beg to Differ. So we know that Spencer needs to up his card game. If you're going to get into this realm.
Oh yeah. Definitely need to do that.
That's a lot of work. He's got scrap paper with. Look at that.
That's sick.
All right, Kyle. Are we winding down? I think we've been doing this almost an hour and a half. Yeah, we're on TeePublic, guys. So if anybody wants to go to TeePublic, you can search the Flattest State of Comics. You can search the Fandom Podcast Network, and you can rock the merch. And the logo got changed, so it doesn't look like that. That was our original logo. I actually have that shirt coming, and I'll wear it. And then but we got the new logo up. So if anybody's interested, there's some merchandise right there.
Steve, that shirt is now a limited edition collector's alternate cover.
Yeah,
shirt.
so I may get that signed by Dan Quintana and sell it for $20,000.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so back to the scan that QR code, and it'll take you to Fandom Podcast Network's, all their social media and all their content, all the different podcasts. There's a ton of different podcasts on the Fandom Podcast Network. Now you get to see us on the Fandom Podcast Network, me, Spencer, Austin, and there's going to be more of us. Tomorrow night, I will be on True Believers, and that's part of the Fandom Podcast Network, and that'll be on YouTube tomorrow night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we will be doing a spoiler reaction show to Supergirl. And yeah, this has been the Flattest State of Comics, and then coming up next month, episode 2 will be July 31st. That's a Friday. I hope you guys can be here. July 31st, episode 2. We are excited to have our first guest, and it's only episode 2. Zach Kaplan, the writer of the book that I chose, Only the Savage Are Left. And he has this new book coming out the very beginning of August. So he'll be on talking about the Smart Division, which is kind of an AI sci-fi Minority Report, X-File, true detective kind of thing. He sent this to me, this ash can. And he also, I think he hooked you up, Spencer, right? He's hooked you up a few times with stuff.
I got like a Only the Savage Are Left like variant cover, and I got that ash can.
Yeah, and he signs everything, and he sort of does this guerrilla marketing style thing, and you know, I got to be a beta tester on that and did a reel about that. But he's going to come on the show and talk about the stuff he's working on. He's writing like 3 or 4 books right now.
Kill All
Immortals. Do you have any of the graphics of any of the other stuff he's doing? Kill All Immortals, Smart Division. What is else he's doing? He's doing Only Savage, and then there's another one, Master or something. But anyways, Zach is a dope writer working kind of, I think all of his stuff's coming out at Dark Horse Comics right now. And he is going to grace us with his presence on next month's episode, July 31st, Friday at 8 p.m.
Cool, man.
So we're gonna ask him about the new book and pick his brain a little bit. So that should be fun. So if that's the case and he's on the show, some of the other features may be curtailed a little bit, and we'll figure that out. But I look forward to coming back next month. It's been a hoot on episode 1. It's been dope. It's been peak. It's been goated. I'm going to need you guys to help me with this lingo, because I'm an old dude and I'm still saying cool, and I got jiggy with it.
Hey guys, where can we find you on? Where can everybody find you on your social media?
Yeah, guys, where can we find you? Spencer, I know you're on YouTube, and what's your Instagram? And then Austin, you just tell us where we can find you guys.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at the Stoked Nerd. Same on YouTube and TikTok, and I have 2 TikToks. One's the Stoked Nerd, and one is Stoked Comics. So, yeah, those are where you can find me.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, YouTube Stoked Nerd as well.
Okay. Austin.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. The Retro Corner with an underscore at the end. Yeah.
And I am, of course, the comic_Ronin on Instagram. And if you want to hear a guy talk silly about his former drinking problem, you can go on Spotify and check out Craft Free: The Adventures of a Sober Nerd. And that's it for us. Guys, it's been a pleasure. And Kyle, thanks for all your help. And we'll see you guys next month.